What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new reaction, and today we're watching British thunderstorms ain't got nothing on America. We're talking about the one thing we all love to talk about. Come on now. If you're talking to somebody you just met or somebody you've known your whole life, there's one thing we can always conversate about, and that's how bad the weather's been lately. But British thunderstorms and American thunderstorms, how different are they? I don't really know. I feel like it's like always raining in the UK. And then here in Kentucky, we go through like every single season once a week. So, it'll be 70 one day, snowing the next, and then raining the next. It's hard to really describe the weather here in Kentucky because it changes so often. Like people always say, if you don't like the weather, wait a minute, it will change. So we're about to get into it. Go into the channel, hit that subscribe button, drop a like for more reactions like this. Go check out my other channel with me and my girlfriend Anna. The link will be down in the description, but other than that, let's get into it.
Good doggy. During my time living here, one thing that's really stood out to me about Midwestern storms is that in the hours and even minutes leading up to them, there's often no hint of a storm at all. Things can be entirely placid, but then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Mother Nature lets out one huge wind gust.
Yeah. I mean, usually, like, you can tell. Like, you'll see dark clouds, or even, this might come off as really country, and it might just be a southern thing, I don't know. But me personally, and everybody I know, when we're outside, we can literally smell a thunderstorm coming. Like, it will be clear as day out, and we can be like, it's supposed to rain today? I don't know, Billy, what? I smell a storm coming. Then 15 minutes later, it'll be piss pouring. It's amazing. I don't know what it is. It might just be a southern sixth sense or something, I don't know.
And as that wind blows the leaves around like ants in a tumble dryer, there's something else that accompanies it. Really f***ing ominous clouds that look like they're going to devour the motorway. And I'm often told that when clouds have those little pointy bits hanging off them, you've got to be a little bit careful because that could be the precursor to a tornado. So far, we've got nothing like that on the horizon today, even though much of the Midwest has experienced that recently, and now that I think about it, it could happen. But thunderstorms, that's what we're here for. Let's see how it's getting on.
Dang. God, that sound just makes me want to go to sleep. You will never get more peaceful sleep in your life than when you're sleeping in a house with a metal roof. Oh, it's 10 times better. But sleeping during a thunderstorm, beautiful. Until there's that one really, really loud thunder and you're just sleeping all peacefully. Just and it's terrible.
Amazingly, amid all of this rumbling that's going on, my animals have been handling it quite well. I was never really concerned about my cat, who's experienced this many times during the 13 years he's been on this planet. Thankfully, unlike some cats, he's not under the misapprehension that he's hearing a giant vacuum cleaner. He just looks at the storm with the scorn that it deserves. And Arthur, a little puppy, experiencing his first ever thunderstorm, at least on my watch. And mostly, in terms of the thunderstorm, he's fine. He spent most of it chewing on his toy because he's going through some dental pains like all puppies do at this age. Poor little bugger. By far.
See, both of my dogs, they don't really mind the thunderstorms. But then, like, my buddy's dog, they have to, like, give it medicine, like, an hour before to, like, calm his nerves. And I feel like humans are the same way. There's some people that get, like, really, really scared and nervous during thunderstorms. And then there's people kind of like me that just kind of just sit back and kind of just wait for the power to go out because we all know what's going to happen.
Underway, the southern United States sees more thunderstorms than anywhere else in the nation, with Fort Myers, Florida recording an average of 89 thunderstorms per year.
Damn!
But I've just learned that one of the most devastating thunderstorm complexes occurred here in the Midwest. Back in 2012, when I was still living in central Indiana, a fast-moving derecho emerged in Iowa before sweeping its way through Illinois and then clear to the Atlantic coast.
Dang.
On its path of destruction, it claimed the lives of 22 people and brought damages of $2.9 billion. And having experienced the derecho of 2020, I'm familiar with how such storms often coincide with the hot temperatures of summer. But they're not uncommon here in early spring, as the thermometer flirts with the 60s, the temperature, not the decade. Anyway, I think you're going to want to see this, because in the last few minutes there's been a development. Yeah, it is still coming down. Yeah, that is the craziest looking hail I've ever seen in my life. We don't get anything like this in the UK.
Yeah.
It's Mostly good.
Sometimes you'll get hail and it won't even be like cold outside. I've been in hailstorms and it's like 50, 60 degrees outside. It's crazy.
It's a piece of hail that I just picked up from the ground outside. It is definitely the biggest piece of hail I've ever had in my hand.
Wow.
And I have to drop it now because it's melting. America is no stranger to large pieces of hail that hail from America. In fact, by comparison, some pieces make the segment that I held in my hand look like a fairy fly, albeit a frozen one.
I've seen places get like golf ball sized freaking hail.
I read today that in 2010, a piece of hail measuring almost 8 inches in diameter came down in Vivian, South Dakota.
Jesus
it remains the
Christ.
largest hailstone ever recorded in the history of Earth's history. The second largest was found in Nebraska some 7 years earlier, proving once again that everything is bigger in the United States.
That's not even a hailstone. That's a hail boulder. Jesus Christ.
But that's irrelevant. But in my neck of the woods, the hail lasted all of 60 seconds. And just like that, as was the case before the storm started, everything is now placid. The storm has stopped. Which is good news for Arthur, because we can now take him on that longer walk, and I've just realised he's going to run through all of the sloshy mud. Alright, Tara, are you ready? It turns out neither of us were ready for what happened next.
I low-key enjoy like the calm before the storm. Like I know it's a saying, but that is so true. Right before a big thunderstorm hits, you go outside, there's no wind, there's no sound, like the whole world is just quiet. And then bada boom, there's a freaking storm.
Ominous. Do you think that's the end of the world? Or just the coming of a tornado?
Oh, the siren?
Probably neither. Probably just testing it.
I do know they don't. The test for like the tornado sirens and stuff, I'm pretty sure they don't do it when they know there's bad weather, because like people will like, oh dang, that's an actual like siren, we need to get to safety or whatever. I'm pretty sure they only do tornado siren tests when it's like a clear day and there's no tornadoes, there's no like bad weather coming or anything. I don't know, y'all let me know. But I'm pretty sure they schedule it around like the weather so they don't freak people out. And so that way, if you hear it during a storm, you're like, okay, this is probably like the real deal.
Probably going to find out.
Yeah.
This was no test. Just when we thought it was safe to go back into the water, an even bigger shark was emerging from the deep. The Chicagoland area was under a tornado warning. And to be clear, the shark bit was a metaphor, I hope. Yeah, I know you like looking at the wind, Kafka, but we've got to go. So, currently in the Pittsburgh potty, I have toilet roll for no real reason. We decided, since it's only a few minutes, this tornado warning that's in effect, we wouldn't bring down the whole crate, we just bring him down on a leash and let him roam a little bit. Kafka doesn't have that luxury, because if he did, he would tear Arthur to pieces, not literally, but they do tend to fight. So yeah, we are just seeing it out. It's supposed to only last about 12 minutes or something like that, and that's pretty normal. I mean, these tornado warnings don't last long.
Yeah, but just the other day, we had a storm come through, and we were under a tornado warning for like 36 minutes.
Move pretty fast. Kafka's trying to escape as we speak. You want any words for your audience? I know, I
no.
Put you in here, but you know, got to take these precautions. And I'm tired. Among the world's countries, the United States in particular is synonymous with tornadoes. In fact, of the 67 tornadoes powerful enough in history to have been classed as an F5, 59 were recorded in the US, and that number is even higher if you account for Brock Lesnar. And in 1925, one of those F5s became the deadliest in US history when it ripped through Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana along the longest tornado path ever recorded.
See, luckily, knock on wood, thank God, I've never seen a tornado that like actually touched down and like was like a for real thing. But yeah, tornadoes, they are some of the scariest things ever, because just instantly whole towns just wiped off the map. Like just at the end of last year, Mayfield, Kentucky was like completely destroyed by a thunderstorm and tornado. Like that was one of the closest ones I've ever really experienced. Super close to home that was that destructive. And it's always crazy to learn like other countries don't get tornadoes the way we do. Loki makes me want to move.
In total, this one tornado claimed the lives of almost 700 people, the vast majority of them right here in Illinois.
Wow.
Well, after all that, according to the radar, it really is all over now. So Arthur, you've earned a trip to the dog park. And I'll be honest with you, it's completely and utterly a little bit not surprising that Arthur wasn't scared of the thunder, because he's not even afraid of the big dogs, and I have to admit, he played with them in a manner that was admirable. and disgusting. There was a lot of cleanup after that.
Alright guys, that is going to do it for British thunderstorms. Ain't got nothing on America. I'm sure the UK gets some pretty bad storms, but all of America, it's so big and we experience so many different types of storms and weather. It's kind of hard to compare the two. Y'all let me know what y'all thought down in the comments. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If y'all want to see more reactions like this, let me know by hitting that like button. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to go out today, spread the love, spread kindness, do something nice somebody day. I love you guys so much, I really do. Cheers, your reaction. I'm out. Peace.